Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to a nice Road to Glory episode 19, the return of Foot Champions, the descent back in to hell, the nightmare time of FIFA at a weekend. Stressful, annoying, tedious, boring, like all things I would have said last year about Foot Champions. This year, however, I don't mind it, and that is largely down to being on PC and because the game's just much better than it was last year. On PC, only having 25 games, it is just a true blessing. I just don't know how people do 40. I understand it's got to be 40 for the pros, but there have been so many 40s because of the no-loss glitch. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it even works on PC, but yeah, there have been so many 40 out of 40s. I don't know how people do it. It's so many games to play in 3 days. It is ridiculous. If it's your job, fair enough, it's not that bad. But if it's not your job and you're chucking down 40 games a weekend, fair play to you. So I don't know where you find the time. Anyway, with only 25 games, I did it all in one sitting. Took me about 6 hours. I actually left one game because we could not move up another rank. But we're just rocking our BPL team with Shevchenko. The standard changed to 4-1-2-1-2. We're going to be using squad fitnesses every 2 games, because they're not really necessary. Stamina doesn't seem as much of an issue this year, which is nice. As we get into our first game, coming in against a very solid BPL team, some very nice players for my opponent, and I clicked off the screen. Phenomenal. So we pick up a loss from our first game without even kicking a ball. That is some next level skill. But we get into our next game coming up against our opponent, another BPL team. He himself also has Salah. One to watch Salah. And we get things underway here. Shevchenko into Son. Son back to Shevchenko. Shevchenko doesn't miss those. It's just brilliant play. And then Shevchenko again, just anywhere inside the box. If you give him time, it is going in the bottom corner. My opponent here trying to play out from the back. Fast little turn there from Shevchenko, and it's 3-0. And we get a rage quit in our first game. You can't see my air quotes, but I am air quoting. First game. Annoyingly, we're 1-1 after 2 games, having only played 1 game. But that will be a recurring theme throughout my Foot Champs run of being disconnected by alt-tabbing, my PC just randomly clicking onto other tabs by itself. Not even me, it wasn't even the mouse, it was nowhere near it. It was on my monitor where FIFA was, as far away as it could be from the second and third monitor, but it still managed to alt-tab from time to time. And I think it caused me a grand total of 6 disconnects, which is annoying when there's only 25 games. It's 25% of my games were lost because of just disconnects. Made it a lot harder to actually achieve anything decent like elite this week, which we may or may not do. But the second game, yet again, Shevchenko and Son doing the biznatch. I've never said that before in my life. I don't think I'll ever say it again because I could not sound more ridiculous. My opponent there, nice little bit of work, makes it 2-1. And once again, Shevchenko to Son, down to Mendy. Mendy runs to the byline, cuts it back for Son, who volleys it into the top corner. Not bad, better than a header, nicer to see. And things go from there and get better for us as we play it out to Aurier, into Shevchenko, ball roll past the defender, into the space, low driven, Salah there to pick up the rebound, 3-1, happy days, game over. That was how it finished. So we go 2 wins out of 2, 1 unfortunate disconnect loss, and that puts us at bronze 2, already at bronze 2. In the third game here, we come up against another BPL team. It is going to be another year of BPL, and I don't blame people because they've got the most meta players, the best players. I don't like the word meta. They've got the most overpowered, the best players. My opponent here takes the lead with a cheeky header. This guy was really good, actually. I do lose to him, and I will say it's fair enough because he was a really good dribbler. I could not mark him to save my life. I probably should have let the AI do it, but I did a lot of it manually as we win it back there. Cheeky little slide. Always slide if the opponent gets the ball off you near the box. That would be my tip because you win it back a lot of times. But yeah, my opponent here, down the other end, Raheem Sterling, nice dribbling again, just walks away from me. Gets very lucky with that goal, I've got to be honest. Very lucky. The dribbling was brilliant, but lucky other than that. With Mahrez there, again, just another deflected goal. It's unfortunate that your goalkeepers apparently don't have hands this year. And it alt-tabs again. You could even see my mouse at the top of the FIFA screen. I didn't click anything. My computer just decided to pick something else. And we pick up another disconnect. So that's 2 out of 4. That's already half of my games I've played I've been disconnected. I don't know if I would have beaten that guy, but it would have been nice to at least play the game and see if we could have done anything. We take an early lead here with Shevchenko, some nice dribbling around. My opponent had done this a couple of times, so I was reading it by now. Managed to stick Shevchenko out there to get the ball back. We give it back to Son, and it's 2-0. I believe my opponent did that a couple more times, and we still managed to win it a couple more times. Shevchenko there, doing more work in the air. He's really strong in the air. It's fantastic to have. And then this is just lovely play. Sissoko on the outside, 2-0. Now, what are we going to do with this team? I would like some suggestions, if you may, because there are a few players that I absolutely loathe in this team. Mohamed Salah is one of the worst players I have used this year, undoubtedly. The review is coming on him. It will be today. He will be getting an upgrade, hopefully. He's just been an absolute hero, taking Egypt to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. But you never know with EA. He should hopefully be getting an inform, and we'll review that. That might fix his problems, but as of right now, his base card is dreadful. Might be because I'm using him as a cam. On the wing, he may be okay, but as a cam, dreadful. Bakayoko is another player I do not like. Everyone rants and raves about him, but for me, he is terrible. Having used someone like Fabinho, who was phenomenal, Bakayoko is dreadful. He feels weak and small, which is ridiculous for a player that's 6 foot with 83 physical. But I just can't seem to push people off with him, and he feels quite slow. I don't know what he does, but I don't know what the alternatives could be. If you guys have got any ideas of how I could make up a better team, please let me know how I could replace Salah and Bakayoko, and also who I could replace Moussa Sissoko with. I do really like Moussa Sissoko. The trouble is, his 2-star weak foot is a real problem, and that's a problem with Salah as well. That is just the ultimate letdown. And look at this for a bad goal. My opponent shoots, and it drops to R9. This was just another undeserved loss. I do think on another weekend I'll be able to go elite quite comfortably, to be honest. I just need the luck to go my way and not get disconnected in 25% of my games as we come into the last game. Not the last game, sorry, the second to last game, the penultimate one. And after that game, losing to that crappy goal against a crappy opponent, I went to pot a little bit. And we go 2-0 down before half-time. Terrible, absolutely terrible defending. Like, look at that, it's so bad. And for the rest of the game, my opponent was holding out because he wasn't great. But I'm losing 2-0 to him, and that is my fault. But we do manage to get one back in the 88th minute. However, it is too little, too late as we play it across the sun. And that's how that game did indeed finish. I do need suggestions, guys. Who can I put as a cam, as a right wing? I'm thinking potentially one to watch Yarmolenko because he gets a strong link with Shevchenko. This was also the point where I'd had enough of Bakayoko and I was making wild changes to my team. We went and got Matic. I thought he might do better as a central midfielder just because of that height and extra physicality. I was wrong, however. We also changed up to the 4-3-2-1. Bad mistake by me. Reactions, just overreactions to losing a couple of games. I wasn't happy with the 4-1-2-1-2, but I wasn't used to playing the 4-3-2-1. We come up against an absolutely garbage team, and I get wrecked by it because I was just playing terribly at this point. I should have taken a break. I did all these games solidly in 6 hours because I just wanted it done. That was my experience of FIFA 17 there coming back. I hated the weekend league and just wanted to get it done as quickly as possible. That's why I barely ever played it. Opponent picks up a cheap penalty there. Matic, however, I would not recommend over Bakayoko. He's not a better player. I don't like Bakayoko, but he seems to be the best of a bad bunch, really, in the Premier League. I don't think there's any standout CDMs. You've got Kante, but he hasn't got the height that you need to win those aerial balls. Then I haven't, of course, used Kante yet, but we're going to have to potentially hybrid out the team. Maybe a Yarmolenko, Goretzka kind of Visa or something. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I can already tell you this game we just get smashed. That's a lovely goal by my opponent. Really nice pass and move. We're 2-0 down inside 10 minutes, and it just goes from bad to worse. Yes, again, it's going to go to 3-0. Has Gelson Martin's now got 5-star skills? I don't know, but that's inside 17 minutes. And then in the 23rd minute, we pick up our third disconnect. Yeah, so I need to figure out a way to fix this. If you know how to stop this happening on PC, please let me know down below. That's where we're going to leave it. Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.